Hello, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech here doing a full speculation video for November. I know that I did one a little bit earlier on EDH specifically, but this one's going to cover everything. A lot of exciting stuff going on. Star City Games is redoing the way that they do their weekend events. There used to be a 10K on Saturday and a 10K on Sunday. There is now a 20K, which goes over Saturday and Sunday. So double the prize. While they're running that, they're also parallel running Legacy and Modern at the 5K range. That means Standard is much higher prizes now, and Legacy just dropped in prices. There's a lot of people in the Legacy community that are really angry about this drop. It had to happen. The cards just aren't out there to support Legacy forever. Does this mean the end of Legacy? No. Legacy is still going to be a great competitive long-term format, still huge amounts of value in the format, but it is not going to be as big as Standard for the super spiky competitive players. This change is very, very large and very important. If you want to know a little bit more about what the impact is, Star City Games has an article out by Chase Anders, their financial person. It is unfortunately currently behind a paywall. Not paywall, you don't get to play with it. It's behind a paywall, although after 30 days it will open up. Chase's work is great, and I definitely agree and disagree with him a lot in my videos. If you're looking for somebody else who does speculation stuff, he's got a very good column. Calling cord is $3 to $5. This is crazy low. I've been talking about this for a few months now, but this is the lowest it's going to hit. Pick it up now. Why? It's strong in Standard, and nobody realizes it. This was based off of a deck that Cabal Durward put together. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names. And it was really modified a lot by Clint Olson, who's a judge here in the Seattle area. He won a win-a-box out at the PTQ for Card Kingdom, and then a Friday Night Magic with it. It is an incredible deck. Nobody that I know is playing stuff like this. It is very powerful. It takes advantage of Court of Calling. Court of Calling is a house in Standard, and decks like this really emphasize how powerful the card is. Pick them up now. One of the other side effects of Standard moving up to 20K is that Standard cards are going to spike higher during the Standard season and then drop once they're out. The Painlands right now are running $8 to $12 a piece. Sell your Painlands unless you are using them in a deck right now, and even then, you better make sure that's the deck you like, because when these rotate out, they're not going to be worth anything. Don't hold on to your Painlands long term. Modern Masters 2 is about to be announced. We've got this giant GP that has already been all but announced in Vegas next summer. It's got to be for Modern Masters 2. What's going to be reprinted? I don't know, but these cards are all super expensive right now, and I'm avoiding them like the plague. I've gotten rid of all but 2 playsets of Goblin Guides, and will probably even go down to 1 playset of Goblin Guides, even though both myself and my daughter occasionally play decks with Goblin Guides, because they're incredibly expensive right now. And if they see a reprint, they're going to drop back down to that $8 to $10 range pretty quickly. In Modern, there are some cards worth picking up, and this is one of the areas where I strongly disagree with Chase's article. Grove of the Burnwells, Inquisition of Kozilek, and Remand have all just seen reprints. They're very low for how powerful of cards they are. I don't expect to see any of these cards in Modern Masters 2 or in an upcoming Standard set. If I'm wrong, they'll tank, but if I'm right, they're set to each double as Modern picks up popularity. If you don't have your Dak Fadens and your Notion Thieves, you need them now. They are playable in Vintage and they're playable in Legacy. This combination hit a top 8 also. This is a great combination. Conspiracy has hit an all-time low. Pick them up right away before you're looking for these at double the prices they're currently at. The Commander decks have the Wormcoil engines down to $7 to $10. Yes, they could drop lower, but they will jump back up. Once the Commander print run is out, these are going to be back to $20 cards. This is a huge fan favorite. Pick them up while you can. Any of the cards that haven't proven themselves in Legacy, like Dualcaster Mage, get rid of right away. He's already dropped $3 since he came out. I had high hopes for him in Legacy. He just hasn't worked out, at least not in the quick environment that's out there. He could probably drop as low as $5 and then start to rebound slowly over time. Yes, I'm going to hold on to a playset of them because I don't want to go through the transactional cost of buying and selling them, but short term, get rid of them, pick them back up after they drop. Containment Priest has won again. It's up to $30 and sold out at Star City Games, sold out at Card Kingdom. It's $22 on TCG Player. Get rid of it now. There are giant stacks of these decks that just made it into Walmarts and Targets. Once people start cracking those, it's got to go down to less than the retail price of the deck. It is not a 4 of main deck card. It's not as powerful as True Name Nemesis was originally. Yes, it's doing well, and yes, it is winning, but it's really overpriced right now. Another thing to speculate on currently is cards that can beat Treasure Cruise. It's probably going to be a few months before either we see a ban or we realize that Treasure Cruise is a permanent staple in Modern and Legacy. I think it'll get banned in Modern. I'm up in the air over Legacy. But all of these cards have a strong impact on Treasure Cruise. Leyline of the Void is super cheap right now. It is a great sideboard card. I'm even trying it main deck. Anger of the Gods, yes, it stops Wild Nicoddles, and it helps against Treasure Cruise. Scavenging Ooze, I want to tell you guys to buy them all, but I have told you guys to buy them all a few times and they keep dropping, so I'm at least saying hold them. Just don't dump them right now. They help deal with the graveyard. And Relic of Progenitus, I've been putting it into aggro decks and control decks, main deck. It cycles very easily, and shutting down your opponent's Treasure Cruise is extremely important. Relic is the best way to do that, and it's very inexpensive. Any of these that you can find in foil or foreign, people want to trick out their decks. Pick them up in foil, pick them up in foreign, put them in your trade binders, go to a GP, go to a PTQ, and profit. One of the patrons on the channel asked me to do a video on mistakes that have been made, and I'm going to do a whole video on mistakes that I have definitely made. I, as you know, traded for a second Black Lotus. I sold that a week before it spiked. Now, I got a decent price on it. I was very happy, but I probably could have gotten another 30% on it if I had waited a week. It's always difficult to tell when to get in and when to get out on things. Everybody makes mistakes. Don't look at the mistakes, though, as a negative. Try to figure out what you can do and what you can learn from it. I saw Legacy and Vintage cards spiking across the board. Power had already went up significantly, but the giant turnouts at Eternal Weekend should have told me that there was more room for growth. Anybody who is interested in getting early access to these slides, they're posted on Patreon in advance of me putting the video together. I added a budget level on Patreon, the $1 level, so if you're interested in speculating but you don't have a lot of money, that's definitely the way to go. I also added a new goal at the $350 level on Patreon that will add a speculation video every week. So these have been extremely popular. If you want to see them more often, I would be happy to create them. Head over there and support the channel. Thanks. This has been Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech. We've got 2 new patrons on here that are at the credits level. We have Orange Ship and Nixonator. Don't know if I'm pronouncing those correctly, but definitely happy to have some more patrons on the channel. We've got lots of great stuff coming as we make it through Novlomo. I'm trying to put out a video every day in November, and I'm getting really close at this point. Thanks, everyone.